Welcome, 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 everyone, to another adventure into reality. Your sleepy host is still waking up from a power nap. Come on, everybody, come on into the room. Zoom has the special feature now that everyone must be individually let in. So if you find yourself in the waiting room going, why can't I get in? Blame it on Zoom's new feature. So we have to admit everyone in piece by piece by piece by piece by piece. That is the nature of Zoom during now. So right now, everyone that wants to be a part of today's call-in show, if you are listening on Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, Twitter, Twitch, or anywhere else, you must be in the Zoom room to answer questions from the chat room or to be selected as a caller from Robert, our Wheel of Callers specialist, who has a mystical, magical way of choosing who the callers is. I do not know who the callers are going to be. Only Robert does. Also, we'd ask if you have been on in the last month, you do not raise your hand. We would like everyone to get a chance to have a moment to call in. And today, especially today, after Andrew has admitted that I woke up from a power nap and still a little tired, I'm looking for someone to inspire me. Can you do that, audience? Can you take up the challenge of inspiring the Galactic historian with your brilliant genius intelligence? Or will we have to bring in the rating system of intelligence? I do not have my roasting fire open, but those that are open to being roasted, I can instantly have a shamanic fire there. And for those of you who don't know what a roasting fire is, ask those in the chat room. I will never tell you what you want to hear. I will tell you what you need to hear. Not everyone needs to know their galactic history. There are those that need to know about who they are, what they are right now, so they can understand the greater them in the moment. If you are asking purely selfish, instant gratification questions, I usually do not gratify you with an instant gratification answer. I may turn it around as a question back to you that may open more things up to you. Now, Robert, let's have people raise their hand.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hands. Come on, raise your hands. And I see a bunch of people who raised their hand from last week. Okay, if you raised your hand last week or in the last month, you must lower your hand. That's right. Oh, we've got a bunch of new people here. Okay. All right, Robert, spin up the wheel of callers and see who wants to have a genius conversation or a roasting with me.
Okay. Wendy Lee, you're getting a signal to unmute.
Wendy Lee, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. How are you?
Great. Where are you calling from?
Toronto.
You have a very interesting voice. You have no Canadian accent whatsoever.
That's interesting.
You have a solid tone voice, which is supported by your throat chakra and your heart chakra.
I'm a singer, if that helps.
What kind of singer?
I mostly end up singing jazz.
Oh, that's got to be it. You've got the super highway from the throat to the heart opened up.
Cool.
So, what did you want to talk about today?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned genius and intelligence because that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I know, right?
Ask and you are given.
Wonderful. I've always had the experience like I have a learning disability, and I don't know if that's necessarily true or if I just think differently. And I'm just wondering, in activating your genius, is there something that can alleviate that for me, or is it something I could fix, or is it just the way I am?
You don't have a learning disability.
All right.
People around you have learning disabilities because they're dumb. You have to lower yourself to their level.
All the time?
Mm-hmm. Welcome to my world.
What do I do? How do I fit in? How do I function?
First thing, don't lower yourself to their level.
Okay.
Be as intelligent as you can possibly be all the time without condescendingly talking down to them.
Well, sometimes I feel like I need to oversimplify things, or I don't know. I feel like
but who did you learn? Who did you learn oversimplification from? Someone had to teach you that.
Oh, probably.
Okay.
I don't know who specifically, but
Let's start with mom and dad.
sure.
Okay. Okay. You probably brought up complex subjects that they didn't understand then. What was their educational background?
Nothing formal.
Nothing formal. Therefore, you could have said, what's 99 divided by 5,000? And that was too much for them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So therefore, you were constantly exposed to their simplification process, to their intelligence level.
Right.
This is not putting them down.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the family that you were born to. And you're one of the geniuses born through the family. And part of the trauma of being a genius is being around dumb people all the time and picking up bad habits of explaining stuff to everybody who's a dumbass.
Well, I almost feel like I've lost my ability to articulate things clearly.
That's why
I
you
don't
became. That's why you became a singer.
Right. I am able to. I feel like I can connect with people more when I'm singing than.
Have you ever tried to sing out math?
No, I'm so bad at math.
It doesn't matter. Just try singing 5 times 5 is 25 in your pure singing voice. And there's a reason behind it. There's neural pathways that we learned in math that we can blend with our song neural pathways,
Right.
which will allow you to have more cognitive function around your voice, your singing process. The Arcturian people, they learn to sing before they learn to speak.
Cool.
Okay. You want to give us a little try? 5 times 5 is 25, and it's in the best singing voice you can bring in.
5 times 5 is 25.
See, you even had that with a perfect tonation and a bit of comedy behind it. Okay,
Like a jingle.
Yeah, like a jingle.
Uh,
Okay, and now you can say Illuminatis are idiots. Okay,
I like this. This is uplifting.
you're welcome. It's uplifting to me too. So
Yeah.
the answer to the question is don't lower yourself to their level.
Okay.
And you just got to recognize how that it's an innate program in you where you judge the intelligence level of the room and seed the room with, well, how low do I have to go to connect to them?
Right.
And the world you're living in is not a limbo game of how low can you go,
Yeah.
or you end up around a bunch of low frequency idiots who are really boring.
I do get bored
How easy do you get bored?
too easily.
And what do you do when you're bored?
I eat.
Ooh, what is the foods that occupy your boredom?
So crunchy things or like chocolate.
Okay.
I have chips are definitely a guilty pleasure, or French fries.
All right, you're a crunchaholic.
Yep.
So there's something to the crunch factor that helps break up your boredom. Interesting. What type of chips?
Just like plain potato chips.
Okay, you ever have kettle cooked chips?
Yeah, those are pretty good. Those
Yeah,
are usually
those-
my favorite, the kettle chips.
Those are the best kettle cookers. So what else did you want to talk about? You even sung it for us.
I
have
get
to
to
say,
this-
I loved that. That was great.
Exactly.
Oh man, I wasn't even trying. It just comes out. I get I don't know. I have a busy brain and sometimes feeling like I lack intelligence. It puts me in a very dark, sad place. You know.
Sing it to me then. Sing your question to me. Let it flow. Let your heart to brain flow it out and let all whatever you has to say to me come through song.
I'm in school and I feel like I'm the last in class.
But actually, you're the first in class, and the rest are the runts of the litter.
I'm in music school, and in theory, it's difficult because I don't know. It seems very mathy.
Yes, it's mathy now because you haven't made a songy reference to it yet.
Right.
Okay,
So I should start singing my textbooks.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how fast you'll learn it. Even better, how fast do you memorize a song versus memorize an equation?
Oh yeah, a lot faster.
Okay, then be smart, be genius, and apply that process.
All right.
And you never know, you could become the next viral video star.
That'd be fun.
Okay. See, now there's multiple thinkings to the directions that you're going in.
Yeah.
You can break boredom by singing out your boring studies, but at the same time be recording yourself here and there to make viral video stars.
Mhm.
That's multidimensional thinking.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't you can do what Lori said, don't call me stupid blues. Okay? I'm stuck around a bunch of idiots. Da-na-na-na. They're never gonna learn. Da-na-na-na. Okay.
I have the most difficult time writing lyrics, and I feel like I should have a million songs by now. And it just doesn't seem to flow with me in a poetic way.
Because you're too selective about the range of your voice to the lyrics that you write.
Hmm.
Okay. And are you still finding out the range of your voice, or do you truly know the range of your voice?
You mean just my
High to
accessibility
low.
to pitches?
Accessibility to pitches in exchange from the highest to the lowest in a single note, or within a measure of a beat.
I haven't thought about it in that much detail.
That will help you determine the lyrical process that you can do.
Okay.
Let's say you ever heard the Guns N' Roses song, "Walking on Heaven"? No, it's not "Walking on Heaven's."
Knocking on Heaven's Door?
No. That's a good one too. The one where he's got the roses and he's at the wedding.
November Rain?
November Rain. Now he does high low, high low, high low, high low all throughout that, completely stretching his singing capacity and that falsetto thing that he does, and then back to a deep, a grindy tone. Obviously, that's mastered music.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you're writing your lyrics, knowing your highs and lows determines how, in one measure and within a beat or half a beat or a staccato or an eighth note, you can change chords completely and have the rest of the music, be it the guitar, the drums, or whatever, amplifying your rise to low to high.
Right.
And that's allowing the lyricist to know that the rest of the musicians can amplify the position and still give the voice a rest as you're beginning to grow in potency and power. Now, if you look at Mariah Carey's old stuff before she really became a poppy singer, she was more like Michael Jackson than anything else. Okay,
Like
she
singing style?
her singing style had opera Michael Jackson mixed into one.
Cool.
Okay, so if you were to compare yourself to another existing singer out there, what would you say you're like?
I've been told that I sound like Stevie Nicks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't thought about it that much, who I sound like.
Or you haven't let the compliments in.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay.
It's like, oh, you're just being nice.
Yeah, exactly. You're just being nice. Okay. And you don't accept the compliment.
Right.
So high notes to low notes. And then what kind of songs do you write now?
I don't really. I mean, I have ideas of arrangements for other songs, but I've never written a complete song myself, with lyrics and the whole bit.
So you sound unmotivated.
Yeah, uninspired, maybe too critical of anything that comes out.
We're going to turn to the audience here to come up with some lyrics for you.
Okay, great.
And let's have it a mix between spiritual and comedy teachings.
All right.
So somebody who could come up with almost a really simple haiku line that's 3x4, 4x3, something like that. Really simple, not terrible on the syllables. That is a spiritual statement and yet a little funny at the same time. So we're gonna engage that audience geniuses and find out if some geniuses are gonna rise to the crop or fall to the bottom.
Sweet, lay it on me.
Hold on, we've got brain freezes. I don't do haiku, darn. Okay, stolen Jesus and Jesus, no. When I wait in the sun for the grace of the light, I realize I forgot to turn my stove, and now the blaze is literally grows. That's a pretty good one. I have my mind on my mindfulness and my mindfulness on my mind. Okay? I live in the energy farm and I won't go home. I drive and drive. I exist at the dump and go. Love slowly close to earth. Okay? You can't do it wrong. You can only do it long. Oh, that's a good one.
I like that.
Okay? Going into the beyond. Now here I am doing dishes. Okay?
I like it. I'm filming the chat as it goes by.
If you're in the chat room, you could also it'll save everything at the end for you if you have
cool.
the Zoom software.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch there. Pick one that you want to try.
It's moving pretty quickly.
You could slow it down and stop it from moving.
Right.
Just have to move your arrow up a little bit.
Okay. I walk the line. I forgot the task. The forest is unknown. Fear is known. Rest. I like that for some reason.
There you go. There you go.
Are you asking me to sing it? Is that
Yeah,
what's happening?
try.
Okay.
Put yourself on stage.
Oh,
the
boy.
lights are on you.
I walk the line. I forgot the task. The forest is unknown. Fear is known. Rest. All right.
There you go. Was that inspiring? Is that
was
stirring
fun.
something? Is that stirring something in you?
It is.
Power of improv, darling.
The
Power of
biggest audience I've
improv.
ever had.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Power of improv. Sometimes you just got to get those juices flowing by the improvisational nature and the you already have such a like I immediately sensed it in your voice from the first words that you said.
Cool. Well, that is encouraging.
Okay. Have you ever tried to practice a Southern drawl?
Practice?
Yeah.
Maybe once in a while as a joke, but not
just try it for a second.
A Southern drawl.
Yeah.
I feel like I might offend someone.
It's okay. You won't offend anyone on this show.
Oh boy.
It's okay.
I want to be singing in the buzz.
There you go.
I'm just reading some of the chat. I got pipes and I don't know. I don't do plumbing. I sing real good because I can't do plumbing.
There you go. You got it right away. There is something about Southern drawls and the capacity to play with words with the drawl that modifies the singer's voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like having a slide ring on a guitar. So practicing the drawl will give you more range of technique on your voice.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Which will give you just unique ways of adding inference into the songs that you're singing.
Okay. So I should start singing country.
Well, you should have at least one country. You should have one country song, one rap song, one metal song, one from each genre.
Metal.
Yeah, seriously, you should try to make one from each genre.
That'd be fun.
Okay,
I like that idea.
And then you could put that out as the first album, call it Schizophrenia.
Perfect.
Or Multiple Personalities.
Done.
Okay, and we will promote it here on the show.
Woo! All right. I'm on it.
Okay. Do you feel motivated now?
I do. That's great.
Then improv. Sing out those boring ass study songs.
All right.
Okay. And then just find weird lines to suddenly go into song with.
Okay.
You could be the next stand-up singing comedian.
All right.
Now look at your job expand.
And
then when you're singing, you can easily talk down to those idiots out there. You have no idea what you're doing. With a finger snap.
Oh man. This is good.
All right, darling. Thank you for calling in. You were really fun to talk to.
Oh, thank you.
All righty.
Bye.
Yep. All right, Robert. Let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who's next.
That was great. All right. Next caller will be Iari, getting a signal to mute.
Yari, are you there?
Yes, I'm here
You made it. Where are you calling from?
from El Paso, Texas.
El Paso, Texas. Welcome to the show. What did you think about the singer we just had on?
That was so beautiful. I loved just hearing her speaking voice, and that was super neat that you picked up on the fact that she's a singer right away. Yeah, I was inspired. Mm-hmm.
I am special that way.
Yeah, you are. You got a good ear.
Multi-dimensional ears.
That's awesome.
So what did you want to talk about today?
I wanted to share, maybe inspire you with something. So I'm really grateful because you're very motivational about kind of following your bliss, like Joseph Campbell says, and like taking chances and I did that. I took a jump, and I was in a little bit of a funk for a while, not really knowing what to do with my life. And I've been through so many different careers, and I was working in a restaurant. And so I decided to take a jump and make a documentary about a story of my mom that's been circulating in my mind in my heart for like 20 years. Mm-hmm. And I applied for a grant, and I got a little micro grant, and I received the grant and was accepted into a film festival, Andrew. And
wow.
And so what's really special about it is that there was a really strong intention behind it. So my mom's story alone is incredibly inspiring. She immigrated from Mexico into the United States and went through so much poverty and sexism and racism. And her sister met a pretty terrible man that ended up being abusive to my aunt. Mm-hmm. And so my aunt finally got the courage to leave him. And as punishment, as a way to get back at my aunt, he attacked my mom, and he ended up raping my mom when she was 16. My mom didn't have any justice. She had to see this guy around town, and he was still wandering free. And she didn't really say that she was raped, but they knew that he had attacked her, and he just got to get away with it and would laugh at them and just taunt them. And she ended up getting involved in martial arts and studying Hapkido, which is like a Korean martial
mm-hmm.
arts. And her goal was to take vengeance and to kill this man. She was so full of rage, and she had no other outlet, and she had to hide the martial arts from my grandmother, because she was also back in the day in the 60s, 70s, she was told that wasn't for women. Like mm-hmm. women aren't supposed to be kicking and punching and learning this. So she ended up getting into these competitions and excelling so rapidly. Her sensei told her that he knew that something had happened. He never asked her what, but he's like, I know that you have a lot of anger, and I want you to take it out here on the mat. And she started getting put into competitions, and she never lost a fight, and she had her hands registered as deadly weapons to seek vengeance on this man. By the time she was ready to go, like, she had a plan to do something to him, and to punish him. By the time she was ready to do that, she got word that he had died in a car accident. And so she talks in her documentary how she knew that was a blessing, because if she would have gone through with it, she could have ended up in jail, and I would have never been born, Mm-hmm. So she retired undefeated, and that's what the documentary was about. And when I did the interviews of my aunt and my mom, I thought you would appreciate this. I lit my copal, my fire, and I said a prayer, and I wanted to make sure that this wasn't just for the sake of art, that it was something that was going to be healing for the women.
This is from your heart.
Yeah.
Never doubt it. I was tearing up as you were saying the man died.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you did it for your mother. You did it for the whole story. Art is just the byproduct of the story. Mm-hmm. Her life is an art story. Mm-hmm. The martial arts story.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
No matter what, did she at the end get her vengeance? No, she got justice and retribution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because there wasn't anything she couldn't beat.
Yeah, and that's what I say at the end of this movie, that her spirit was undefeated. Like
Undefeated.
yeah, so at the interview, Andrew, I prayed that it was that my aunt too, my tia, my mom would receive healing, and my tia, she had kept the whole experience inside for such a long time. Sexual abuse is just, there's so
Yeah.
much silence around it. So she was actually able to talk on camera, and she broke down crying, and she remembered all the things she went through. And the next day she called my mom and told my mom that that was the first time she slept so good in such a long time. And it's
Then
already,
the
yeah.
healing is happening then.
Yeah.
Okay. And the fact that you got the grant, the fact that you got the money, the fact that you filmed it, that you made it, that is the ancestral spirits behind you, darling.
Thank you. Yes. I'm so glad I got to share that with you.
Okay. Now it's time to do another one.
I know. And so what's great is that right away I got a little job. It's not much, but I got a little job to make another little mini documentary from PBS.
Okay. There's 1,001 grandmother stories of starting a restaurant that you could do right away. Okay.
Yeah.
Food truck stories of a grandmother who came over in the 1930s and the 1990s, 60 years later, is still doing it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heartfelt stories. And food, from martial arts to food, it'll be an easy jump because it's still about capturing the emotion of the journey.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's so true.
And the food is just there as the image of attraction, because people will taste their food through their heart, the heart that comes through in the interview.
Okay. Yeah, my mom, when she opened up in this interview, was so hard because she also had a stroke 8 years ago. And so, and it took the part of her communication. She wasn't able to speak. She lost that ability. So the way she opened up, Andrew, was by, I just put a microphone on her and set up a camera on a tripod, and she was cooking. And she's cooking, and she starts to just open up over the food, over cooking. She was in her element. Yeah.
That's what you needed. That's what you needed. And just that little synchronicity between what I said and what you just said.
Yes.
Your next set is, here's your next job. The next heartfelt, deeply connecting song is The Medium of Food is going to help you on that next journey.
Okay. That's good to know. I'll keep that in mind.
There are many triumphant grandmas out there with a chancla story.
I know.
The longest chancla throw in the world.
Everyone's competing for that one. I know. My grandmother also was a victim of domestic violence. That's why she had to come over to the United States. And so my mom dreamt, oh, this is really neat. We saw it in the film festival. It was all online. The name of the movie, by the way, because people are asking, is Josie. And it's right now, it needs to go through the film festival circuit, and eventually it'll be on my website, Jackie Barragan website. But anyways, my mom, she had a dream that she watched the movie with my grandmother.
Wow.
Yeah. And that my grandma was right by her side. And I'm like,
wow.
Oh my gosh. Like
I got chills up my spine for that.
Yeah, I know. It's so neat. Yeah. So I know it's like healing multi-generational sexual trauma,
Yes. Just by the exposure to the light of the truth at the end of the story, that everyone can accomplish and grow and heal from it. Okay, just don't get caught in the ugly parts, and make sure the artistic you and the brain and heart connection, and knowing that the art's the byproduct, and the people you interview, they sell themselves through their own emotions.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is know how to get that emotion to come out from the right setting of the camera, the right environment in which they feel comfortable to talk to you.
I went through a lot of self-doubt, a lot of what am I doing? Concern about protecting my mom and her story. It was very, I went through a lot of growth, believing in myself and being my own boss, and just really, that was it. Just believing in myself. That was the hardest part, that I could do this,
But you did it.
I did.
And not only did you get the taste of success, you're getting the second and third taste of success now too.
Yeah.
Where it's not going to be 15 minutes of fame. It might be 45 minutes of fame. Okay.
Yeah.
And a future doing that, and something greater.
I hope so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So maybe it's time for you to, as a secondary hobby, pick up script writing.
Okay. I love writing. I actually have a script that I've been working on about my story, my own personal story, because my story's pretty intense, and I kind of feel like I have to make it fictional.
Well, share it with us a little bit.
Okay. I've also when I was 3 years old, I was going to a nursery, and my mother was teaching aerobics in the same. It was a YWCA. I'm sorry, YMCA in El Paso, and about maybe a year later, I told my father. I was only 3 years old, and I had cussed, or I had said a cuss word, and my dad was like, "Where'd you learn that?" And then I just started breaking down and telling him how myself and the other kids in my class, 16 of us, we were being taken on field trips. They called them field trips to somebody's house, and we were being put through occult-like sexual abuse and molestation through a group of teachers, and it was like a group of 9 adults. And yeah, and there was they would dress up as police officers and doctors, and they would tell us that if we told anybody, they would kill my brothers, or would kill me, and they would sacrifice animals in front of us. Like, really very intense experience that I wiped out a lot of it from my mind, of course. But I was the only one out of the 16 kids that said something, because all the other kids were so scared. And my dad, of course, like, took it to the courts, and they put us up on trial. But back then in the 80s, there was a lot of suits with child molestation cases, and there's so much that the courts didn't know how to handle it. And so we were being questioned on the side, and since we weren't in front of a jury, a lot of our testimonies went out the window, and only 2 people got charged, and they only spent 3 years in jail. So at such a young age, I knew how messed up our justice system is, and it really influenced. It took me on a really incredible journey, because in my teen years, when I was becoming sexually active, I was experiencing so much anxiety. I started to learn. I knew that either I was going to get connected to a psychiatrist that was going to put me on medication, or I have to learn how to heal on my own and connect to my ancestral healing techniques. So I started studying Reiki and self-healing massage, self-healing and meditation and yoga, and later on, it took me to the path of learning my indigenous roots and going to sweat lodges and medicine ceremony. I've done a lot of healing with medicine ceremonies. Mm-hmm. So because it's such an intense, I don't know, I feel the only reason why I can talk about this right now is because it almost feels like it's just you and I, but it feels so vulnerable to talk about in front of a lot of people. You know what I mean? So
you're doing just fine right now.
Thank you. So that's why I have a screenplay that I'm working on to kind of turn it into a film that has to do with connecting to Aztec and Mayan deities, and a girl who was attacked and went through this as a child, and she ended up receiving justice and healing by connecting to goddesses, as Aztec goddesses and Mayan goddesses.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of fiction and nonfiction and the truth of your own story.
Yes.
Well done. Well done. Bravo. Just learn some of the cinematic techniques that are supposed to be in a pro-end script, because your vision of how the vision is the vision of the script. And when you learn the right camera wording technique, high pan, low pan, side pan, drag cam, whatever it is, unsteady cam, there's a lot of words that will tell the cinematographer how to set the scene up. Mm-hmm. Who then will tell the set designer to set it up like this, who then tell the gaffing and lighter people to set it up like that.
I feel like, what do you think? I feel like I'm going to need a huge budget for that kind of movie.
No, a lot of that can be done on the green screen if you have the artist renderings in the background.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the TV series brain fart? Hold on. It was the first TV series that was done all on a green screen, virtually nothing as a live shot.
Oh, wow.
Sanctuary.
No, I didn't see that.
So you can go look it up. It has Amanda Tapping from Stargate SG-1, the short-haired blonde lady that was in Stargate SG-1, and she's the producer and director of the majority of the whole thing. And it was the first series entirely done on green screen.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was for 1/4 of the budget per episode compared to regular filmed episodes.
Oh.
Okay. And it's a
Okay.
matter of understanding how green screen acting and directing is done, so that you could do everything in the post, but having fictional things in the room that the actors can play with, and it actually looks right. Now, secondary, you can pay somebody who's already a storyboard writer to do the entire movie in storyboard format, and then that's added to the script, and then that upsells the script to higher price. That
Okay.
nothing can be below this art level, because you're the script owner and you're going to pitch it to a budget level. You're not going to pitch it to a low budget house. Okay.
Okay.
And that can go, believe it or not, can go directly to some film festivals that allow storyboard movies in.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good idea. It feels like such a distant thing for me right now, but I think I need to continue to work on it.
Well, just practice, just go learn some of the industry terminology from camera angles, setup value, and begin including that into each scene setup and in each voiceover and all that other stuff. It'll make it such more of a complete script, and it'll have so much more wealth of information in the script that tells the potential buyer of the script what budget I need to have for this, and where I can't cut corners.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
True. Okay.
Well, Donald, thanks a lot for calling in. That was definitely an inspiring story. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad I was successful at inspiring you, Andrew, because you're a wealth of inspiration for us. So it's good to reciprocate that back to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Alrighty, Lily Hayes, signal to unmute.
Lily Hayes, are you there? Lily. Is she coming?
I'm sorry, I'm here.
You made it. Welcome to the show. Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from South Australia. And
welcome back, darling. How you doing today?
I'm feeling really, really, really happy to be reconnecting with you all and to be having a chance to have a chat with you again. It's been a little bit now.
Yeah, I know you've been going through some hard times. I saw you on what's going on with Facebook. How are things going?
Oh, it's man, it's been such a journey, Andrew. It really has. 2 weeks ago, as you saw, my left lung had a major collapse, and it was quite a dangerous one, very near-death experience situation. And it was a huge wake-up call. I mean, you know parts of my journey, and obviously the parts we haven't talked about, you know them anyway. So it's been a huge past 12 months of absolute transformation. And there's been patches there where I've sort of regressed and gone back to old habits or old thought patterns that haven't served my soul. But this recent experience of my lung collapsing has really woken me the buggery up, and has just been such a huge blessing in disguise of there's no time to waste. And, you know, everything that's happened has been absolutely divinely orchestrated. So I honor it. But, you know, there's no time to waste doubting. That's the biggest message. And, you know, 12 months ago, it was around this time last year that we had connected, and you had said to me about the amount of grief that I had within me to release. And I didn't really fully comprehend what you were referring to, because I'd had a lot of loved ones pass away, and that is automatically what I went to. But the grief that was really, really burning within me to be released was the grief of my unborn children, and not just from this lifetime, but from all the other lifetimes. And that is what the left lung collapse was all about. You know, it's that divine feminine energy really, really needing to be
Cleansed,
embraced and
Cleansed,
cleansed. Absolutely cleansed.
embraced, loved,
Yeah,
nurtured,
absolutely.
all of those words. Yeah.
All of those words, that's for sure. So I've had a really beautiful soul brother who has been helping me through some real deep womb chakra healing. And I've finally been able to access that level of depth of grief and release, and that moaning, crying, not just the little couple of tears that I'd let out in the past, but real heavy moaning, and really getting to the core of that grief and going back to the past lifetimes of, you know, my Native American lifetimes, my Egyptian lifetimes, my Aboriginal lifetimes, where my beautiful children were taken from me, or I had taken them from myself. Just all these different experiences. So it was wow, just wow. It continues to unfold and continues to get deeper. And I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for the experience.
So what's next for you now?
To stop hiding and to put myself out there. I've done a lot of hibernating this year, and I've really held myself back from sharing my story on more of a public forum such as social media. I was doing a really great job of that for a bit there, but then I really regressed back into hiding. But not just my journey, but just my vibration is meant to be heard, is meant to be felt. And putting myself out there is really part of the journey. But I need to step into my practitioner role too, and let them come through.
Let me give you a little piece of advice here.
Please.
You've had enough advancement in your soul. You've transcended the basic systems that got you there. You no longer need astrology and cards to be who you are.
Yeah, I know.
Put them aside like baby's toys. Yes, they still will give you fun here and there. I put cards aside at an early part of my journey and never looked back.
Yeah.
All of the old systems, you have your own system.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Start being the Lily system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And that's you're 100%. You know, there is, at the beginning of the journey, there's such a feeling of urgency to have all these external trainings and all of these, you know, I need to learn this and I need to learn that. But every single time, and one of my beautiful mentors, Charles, tells me the same thing. You can do all these courses, but at the end of the day, no one can tell you and teach you what you already have within you. There's no one that trains what you are.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Robert, can you mute? I know you're getting your cookie from your little daughter.
I love it.
Excuse me. Yes, we're having cookies and goodies here.
Oh, well, this is my cookie crumbling in a like drop the mic kind of way. It's like boom. Yeah, so it's exactly that. Exactly as you said, there's no one can teach me what I already know, and it's just about believing and allowing it to flow.
So I want you to do a retirement ceremony on your old systems.
Awesome.
Okay, cards, any astrology, any of the old ways that got you there. Do an actual retirement journey, a retirement ceremony. And just like these bands have had 500 come retirement tours, you could bring them out every now and then.
Yeah.
It's just no longer your everyday journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. If the Eagles can come back and have a retirement tour, 25 retirement tours, so can your cards. Just give it a long break and actually make it a retirement ceremony, thanking and honoring from the teachings that they give you, integrating them into the greater you and the healing of the greater you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It sounds beautiful. Thank you. I've got a question for you.
Sure, shoot.
And I would love to hear your insight on what will best serve and help towards the healing of my eldest son. and our
Oh.
relationship together.
How old is he?
He's 13.
And his first name?
His name is Jet.
What is the main issue between you and him right now?
The main issue is Jet healing from, I can feel it energetically. It's similar to my early stages. So it's a karmic replay. Where I can feel karmic energies connected. But the biggest thing is he is feeling as though he is the problem. He's feeling as though that his brother, and then at his dad's house, his younger sister, they're the ones that are perfect and get all the attention, get all the love. He's got that older sibling, black sheep kind of mentality. He's had a lot of anger and a lot of hatred.
Pull back.
Yep.
You're completely missing what's wrong
Sorry.
with him.
Okay, yeah.
Pull back your energy, pull back your vision, stop being
Okay.
his mother for a second.
Okay,
Okay?
yes.
You're way too deep into trying to fix it.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I don't know who that is speaking in the background. Robert is muted on both of his
Oh,
lines.
no, sorry. That is
That's you.
probably my
That's your end.
3-year-old.
That's your 3-year-old.
Yes,
Okay, it's all right.
That's my,
It's Robert's 3-year-old or your 3-year-old. One of the two.
no, that's
So-
my 3-year-old Phoenix in the background.
Okay. I think that you're so off base on what's actually wrong with him. You're making something else wrong that isn't there.
Okay.
Have you discovered anything of a porn addiction yet?
Slightly, yes, but I don't think it's come to full fruition yet.
It
But
is.
there is-
It's already been there a longer time than you know.
Yeah.
You
okay.
got to go and check the browser history and not fight back with him.
Yep.
What is his situation with obsession in video games?
Oh, yeah, that is, you nailed it.
What is the obsession? What game?
The two main games that he has an obsession with is Fortnite and Borderlands. But
Okay.
if he had access to more, he'd be on as many as he can.
Okay, how good is he at Fortnite?
He is pretty good. I did take gaming away though because his behavior got very abusive to the point that he physically assaulted me and my dad, and the police had to be involved.
Right.
So the gaming was
So it's not the gaming. There's an inherent flaw in his personality right now from the porn.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to discover if he doesn't get quality mental health treatment that he's probably going to have borderline multiple personalities.
That's what is definitely coming to the surface now, and I have engaged mental health support. He's just about to go into a higher, more supportive level of that.
Okay. Now that always means some serious entities are attacking him.
I know, I can see them.
But these are ancestral versions, meaning he has contracted them to be there.
Yes.
Okay. Now there are other
I know.
things that are not contracted to be. They're just standard predatorial entities. And yes, you can take care of some of those, but he still has a scent on him that's attracting these negative entities, which are going to cause a schizophrenic moment or a split in the personality.
Yes. I can see.
When he attacked you and your father, did he appear to increase his size?
Yeah, it wasn't him. He was
Yeah.
completely, he went into full psychosis, and I could feel, see, sense.
Then that means it's
smell.
already happened to him through masturbation. It's already deep
Yep.
inside him.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a big entanglement with his father's bloodline and his dad in particular with those kind of tendencies. His dad has been extremely sexually inappropriate towards me and others.
Okay. Honestly, he's at the 13-year-old age where there's very little spiritually you can do because he's not going to listen to you.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Is he picky with his diet?
He's pretty good with his diet actually. He's quite good.
Is he
pretty happy.
picky? Is he picky though?
No, he's not fussy.
Okay.
He'll pretty much eat anything, but he will binge eat on a lot of junk as well.
That's a normal teenager.
Yeah, exactly.
The next level of psychosis for him is extreme pickiness in food.
Yep. Okay.
Good news, bad news here.
Yes.
Is it fixable? Via standard medicine, yes. Is it fixable via spirituality? Until he's, as a human being, is ready to face who he is, what he is on a spiritual
Yeah.
journey, which most 13-year-olds are not.
Yeah, he's not. He's
Okay.
quite resentful towards it because of me being
Therefore,
spiritual.
group teachings, group relationships are going to be the better choices for him, but he's still going to reject it.
Yes.
As
he
soon
does.
as you take away the video games long term, it's going to reveal how bad the personality split is already there.
That's exactly what happened. I took it away and it was chaos.
Right. Because it was his solidity, it was his access to the harvesting systems.
Yes.
Okay. And he's fell in love with one of his fantasies.
Yes.
Okay. Which then an entity took over and created the schizoid break inside him, which created
Yes.
the multiple personalities.
Yes.
How does the medical community work if you have to put him into a home, put him into a place for a while? Do they cover it, or do you have to pay for it?
I'm not too sure. I don't know if there's many facilities like that are available. And I think if the ones that are available, it would take an extremely, extremely like dark, bad experience.
You're leading to that, and that is an inevitability if there isn't a change.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Okay. But this is
Yeah.
also why you went through your dark night of the soul during this journey, is to
Yeah.
realize what's right next to you.
Yes.
Okay. This doesn't mean you stop loving him. It just means you have to love him in a different way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Look at the damage he's doing to the rest of the home.
Yes, that's a scary part.
Okay.
Yes.
And as a mother, when you're faced with this as a spiritual challenge, it's about learning to transmute and transform and transmogrify the love that you have for him into a new form of love so that he can get the best form of help and live the
Yes.
best form of life with himself without causing any more harm to the family.
Yes.
Okay. If he were
Yes.
younger and you captured this earlier, a lot more could be done. But he's 13.
Yes.
He's 13.
Yeah.
And when I look at the records here, really the porn issue started when he was 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Where is he at right now? Is he just playing video games in the house?
Yes, at the moment. Yep. He was out the back, probably about 5 minutes before I was taken up with a call with you. But he takes a lot of pleasure in tormenting his brother and razzing him up and upsetting him. So I asked him to go inside and to be able to relax.
If you were to metaphorically go up to him and say, turn off the video game, go do yard work, what would he say to you?
He would tell me to go get effed.
And then what would you say back?
I would say something along the lines of it's time to have a bit of a break. That's part of our agreement of being able to play the games, give yourself and give your energy a bit of a break to be able to be outside.
Take all those spiritual words out of your vocabulary with him.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. You've got to neuter your spiritual vocabulary to him and simply say, are you trying to do harm to your mother who just had a collapsed lung?
Yeah, this was the conversation literally yesterday, and that's exactly the words that I had said.
Okay. And
He
go,
came back
if you are, I will make sure that when this Xbox won't be here and this computer won't be here anymore because I'm in recovery mode. And if you have zero respect for my recovery mode, then we don't need to have these things in the house.
Yes.
Your choice.
Yes.
You can have it in the house by simply going, okay, that's fine. But your purpose of doing this is to start practicing to take out your spiritual trigger words with him.
Yes.
Okay. No more love and light language with him.
Yes.
No more go meditate. No more go calm your energies down. He hates it when you say that shit to him.
I know he does.
Okay.
I know. I can see whatever's attached to him. It goes crazy.
No, it attacks you.
Well, it does that as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, it attacks you. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So begin neutering the way you speak to him.
Yes.
And does he have a mental health expert already he's spoken to?
Yes, he's had a sort of a mid-range one engaged, but on the 1st of December, he then goes to the ones that handle complex cases.
You need to speak to that person before.
Yes, and that's what I really felt as well.
Yeah.
I did have an assessment that was meant to be 15 minutes over the phone, but it ended up being an hour and 45 minutes. And I
Yeah.
gave them the rundown of all of this stuff.
Right. Now, I have to do this. Has he ever tortured any animals?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Don't let this destroy the healing you're going through, though.
I know I can't.
You've got to come back to your center. Your fetus in your mother's womb and his fetus in your womb planned this. You just survived a near-death experience. This is part of the plan.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And now you've got to embrace yourself with the deeper divine love about the story being played out here.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
In previous histories, you gave birth to monsters. That was part of your breeding situation when you were breeding groups for some of the Illuminati families.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
This monster needs to go and get treatment.
Yes.
Okay? You can outright tell the next doctor, I don't want him in the house. I fear he's going to hurt someone. He has already hurt animals.
Yeah.
Okay? He needs to be medicated before he comes.
Physically assaulted me as well.
Physically assaulted. He needs to be medicated before anything can happen.
Okay, so medication is what needs to be done.
There is no depossession. There is none of that stuff that's going to work because he has already fallen in love with the dark force.
Yeah, I can
through
feel
the porn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your fetus in your mother's womb and his fetus in your womb have planned this.
Okay.
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 You can get through this.
I know. I needed to hear this. I'm just so thankful that this has come at this point.
I want you to know you can't do battle here. There is no war here. There is only love.
Absolutely.
If you engage in spiritual warfare, he wins.
Yes.
And any kind of spiritual chicanery in the background, he wins.
Yes.
This is all about 3D master management.
Yes.
And then shutting off the back door and loopholes of him getting into your energy.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
Don't go to war. Don't fight. Don't fuck with the energy in the background. Shut the loopholes and close the doors.
Absolutely.
As soon as you give him an inch of battle space, he's already won.
Oh, I know. They go to town on me.
Okay? 3D, master management, shut down the loopholes.
Yes.
Okay? You have to finish recovering and nurturing what you're going through. All the while you have a 3-year-old too who's going to need his mother.
Yeah, he does.
Okay?
Yeah. It's such a different journey between the two different children. Jet was tormented and targeted since birth. He had it in him right from the beginning.
No, he wasn't. Stop defending him.
Okay.
Stop defending him. Stop creating the myth around this child.
Okay.
Okay? He came in the way he was in as a plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yes. Yes.
I don't want to overwhelm you. You're still recovering. All right?
No, it's okay. I needed to hear all of this, and I appreciate hearing all of this.
Okay? Heed these words. Don't go to war. Close the loopholes, the back doors. 3D master management now.
Yes.
keep on your healing journey.
Oh,
Journal as much as you can. Become the
Yes.
journal queen.
yeah, that's what
Okay.
I've been drawn back to again, which is great. I love writing,
Okay.
but I really put it aside for a while.
Find some time where you can take breaks from all the super serious stuff so you can have some fun.
Yeah.
Laugh. Find some way to laugh.
Yes.
Stand-up comedy on Netflix. Something. My God, please take a break from the spiritual side every week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you for calling in. You've been a great teacher for a lot of people.
Oh, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate
You're
you so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. You go out, you have a beautiful day, and keep on trucking.
Thank you so much.
All right, you got this, darling.
Thanks. Lots of love, brother.
Lots of love to you too, sister. Wow, we got some special callers today. Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right. John Zanetis.
John Zanetis, are you there? Going once.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, you made it. Welcome to the show. Where are you calling from today?
I'm currently in Nashville.
Nashville. Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
Oh gosh.
I know
maybe-
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, I was totally feeling a lot from that last caller.
Well, what were you feeling?
I don't know how to put it into words exactly, but there's definitely a body reaction of emotions.
Mm-hmm. Deep inside you?
Yeah, probably around my heart.
Okay. Was it creating a tingy energy? Was a pokey energy?
I'm not sure if I would use those words.
Okay, what words would you use? Was there familiarity to it?
Oh yeah, with dark energies and stuff, I guess.
There you go. You experienced something similar in your own journey.
I would say probably. I do remember there was a dark, well, there's been kind of a theme of dark energy, but ever
Okay.
since I was a little kid.
Okay. So what did you want to talk with me about today?
I guess about clarity of reality and purpose for me.
Okay.
I think I've been a little too, I don't know. I feel like I have to piece together my reality, and it starts to get overwhelming after years and years of work that almost seems to go nowhere, at least in some regards. Not that there hasn't been a lot of developments in one way or another, but I still feel like my reality is not quite the same as actual reality.
In what way?
I'm missing something. I'm having what way?
So what are the things that you're trying to get started
guess-
that don't complete?
Probably a lot of things.
Okay, that's kind of vague.
And I probably lose. Yeah, like I mean, I do a lot of things, but I get a little disconnected from them when I don't really understand their place in the world.
Like what? Give me an example.
I mean, I do music, but I feel like I've gotten disillusioned with it, and I don't really know why I do music. It's almost like some sort of existential question that I can't answer anymore. Like, why do I do music if it's just for myself? And I
Okay,
don't
so
make
you've lost
money
the
at it, or I
point of
don't.
you've lost the point of music. What else have you lost? What else?
I've lost
what
the
other
point
thing?
of almost a lot.
Okay, you've lost the point of a
I
lot
feel
of
like I've lost the
things.
point of almost all humanness.
Okay, have you gone far down the conspiracy world?
Maybe. I'm not really into conspiracies, but I know all that stuff. So
Okay,
maybe
so
that's a yes.
you've paid attention to it enough, so it's a part of your world. And conspiracy, when you look at it as an overview, is very disempowering. Very, very disempowering. It either makes you angry at the world in front of you, and then you've already lost once you become angry, or you become passive and destructive to it because nothing's happening in the long run. Okay, you've lost your
That
passion.
makes sense.
You've lost your passion, and you've broken your own faith, not from just conspiracy, but from the lack of anything happening around you.
Yeah.
Okay, my personal view right now is you've entered a state of stagnant depression. Depression has ups and downs in it, but you're in one state of depression right now, the low state.
Yeah.
And you've got fog on your glasses, so you have to take your glasses off to see the world blurry. Okay, and you're not even realizing you can wipe your glasses off to see straight. What's your diet like right now?
It's vegetables, frozen foods, smoothies, mostly vegan, a little bit of fish.
How long have you been vegan for?
Quite a few years, the majority of the decade, I guess.
Have you heard me talk about good vegan, bad vegan? Have you heard any of the other callers that I've talked to about veganism?
Not in a while, so maybe you refresh my memory.
Every week I have one that calls in that doesn't count their protein and is a very bad vegan. You're basically saying you eat fish and frozen vegetables, which means you're probably not getting anywhere near your 40 grams of protein, which means you're daily stripping your body of muscle to have energy, because you're spending more calories to burn the food, to process the food, than you actually get from them. You need to expand and count your proteins. You haven't heard me talk about any of those recently? Every show in the last 10 shows have had me talk about that, literally. I get someone that
I haven't
calls
been
in.
watching shows lately.
Well, it's time for you to pick it up a little bit. It's every week. And this is not to tell you to stop being a vegan. You can continue to not eat meat. You just need to make sure your proteins are at 40 grams a month, or you're going to find yourself in this perpetual state of low depression. Okay? No creativity, energy to do anything, because your body is in a forever in a depressed state, because you're constantly stripping your body of its own core muscles and then rebuilding core muscles based off of what you eat. So steal muscle, build muscle, steal muscle, build muscle, steal. And you've been in this vicious cycle of stealing your own body's energy. You're your own energy kleptomaniac. 40 grams a day. Somebody in the chat room. Okay, 40 grams a day times 30 days is 1,200 grams a month. I'm betting you're less than 100 grams of protein a month. And this is why you are where you're at right now. Okay? There's 1.5 billion Indians from India who know how to live vegetarian. Right now, you're just a shitty vegetarian. Okay? Educate yourself. Get out of the ignorance of the way you eat. Okay? I'm not telling you to quit to eat meat. Find a protein alternative and then stick with it. Long-term damage to your body, you are in iron deficiency right now. I can hear it in your voice. Other long-term damage, your body, your stomach and intestinal tract is because you've been eating such low amounts of food, meaning that variety of proteins. That means your gut genome is so off right now, you're actually not producing like natural stuff that's supposed to energize you, the antidepressive medicines that our stomach produces. 80% of your immune system is inside your intestinal tract. All of your dopamine is inside your intestinal tract. You've got none of that there. You've got to rebuild a gut genome from the ground up and know that your stomach has shrunk because of low portion size over a long period of time. And you're going to have a hell of a time getting your portion size back up to truly realize what 40 grams a day looks like. And they're going to have a moment where you're going to look at left hand, which is your 10, 12 grams a day, and your right hand, 40 grams a day. And you are literally going to realize you've been starving yourself to death for 10 years.
That makes sense. It's kind of
Passive
the
suicide.
emotional reflection of where I've been feeling.
Passive suicide.
Yeah.
Okay. You start eating food. Oh my God. I mean, you're going to be so motivated. You're going to be fucking itching in your own fucking pants. And as soon as you start eating food, go out and be athletic so you can start getting dopamine releases. Okay. Stop being a dumb vegan. If you take anything away from this session right now, is you're just being a dumb vegan. Be an educated one. Learn how to eat higher volumes and get to the 40 grams of protein as your ideological choice of being a vegetarian vegan. You don't have to eat the meat. But if you can't choose and actually eat a true vegan lifestyle and get 40 grams a day, that's the alternative. Meat. Also, if you put protein powder in a shake, you cannot count that as your daily protein. Because protein in a shake is instant energy. You're supposed to have food in your intestinal tract that's 10, 12, 14 days of being broken down. So you have immediate protein to be called on instead of immediately burning muscle in the body. And the shakes, you burn that within minutes or hours of it going to your intestinal tract. Okay? That's why you have protein shakes. It's to exercise and build muscles with them. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? Post-workout, that's why people have shakes. Okay? You give yourself instant energy to build muscle.
I think I just have to figure out how to do it.
Do you have any Indian restaurants in your area? Pure all vegan Indian restaurants?
Yeah, I do.
Go work at one for a little bit. Go talk to the chefs. Go on YouTube and get a YouTube PhD in true Indian cooking. Okay? There are a lot of bad vegan books out there. And I mean horrible books that should have never been printed. If I were you in the situation that you're in right now, I would get over whatever bullshit you have about meat, and I would go on a full paleo diet to get yourself out of this situation. Okay? And this is me attacking a little bit of vegan energy. Guess what? That salad you're eating is more alive than that dead piece of meat. Okay? That salad is alive and thinking. That dead piece of meat isn't. You're at a point you're killing yourself out of sub-passive choice. You want to take your life force back, want to take charge of your life, you need protein bombs every day and athleticism. Put aside your spiritual shit, put aside the ideologies, eat, exercise as much as you possibly can for 6 to 10 weeks. And when you're done, reevaluate your life. Or you're going to continue to do this vicious cycle of deep body depression and forever be in the state you talked about when you first called in.
Exercise too as much as I can.
As much as you can, because you're not producing your own dopamine. And this is why you're in such a deep state of depression. You need protein bombs every day. Right. And you've crossed all of your dopamine wires where you don't even get any dopamine release out of anything anymore. That's why you become so depressed. Okay?
That makes sense.
You need a high level of athleticism, yoga, martial arts, running, swimming. Okay? Are you disciplined enough to return to be an athlete for 6 to 10 weeks?
I'm not sure. I've attributed some of my feelings to just isolation and not having like people, like friends and relationships in my city.
Yeah,
So
but those are a byproduct also of not eating. You've trapped yourself into a single thought mode because you've been
yeah,
suicidally starving yourself, which has led you down to a self-fulfilling prophecy as I have nothing and no one. The athletic world is the easiest way to meet people while you're jogging and running. Okay? Doesn't matter how heavy, overweight, or underweight you are. It doesn't matter. People see the passion within you, and that's what gets you talking to them. Even if it's a 65-year-old power walking woman in the mall going, hey, you're out doing it. Congratulations. And then you make more friends. Get yourself out there being athletically social. You need to be a free-range human being, not a caged human being anymore. Okay? And maybe even make a t-shirt that motivates you. It says free-range athlete. Okay? And you're going to rediscover your spiritual side and rediscover that passion for music once your heartbeat and spiritual rhythm gets going again. Find your groove.
okay.
Find your groove, man. And that groove will be through food and exercise. In this short term, 6 to 10 weeks for you.
Oh, 6 to 10.
Thank you for calling in. You've been a big teacher for a lot of
Thank you,
people,
Andrew.
brother. I want you to call back in, man. Tell me how things go. As I said, you can remain being vegetarian, but you got to get out of the dumb state and highly educate yourself. If you don't, go full strict paleo diet for 6 to 10 weeks, and then you could evaluate your ideology of being vegetarian so that you can truly see how much dopamine you can release every day and how music will once again re-inspire you because you're allowing yourself to come back to the natural order. All right, brother. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of colors and see who's next.
Okay, Sony getting a signal to unmute.
Sony, are you there?
Yes,
Hi, where are you calling from?
California. I think the world of you. You're so freaking amazing.
Aw,
Oh my
thank
God.
you.
I can't. I want to see your face. Wait. What's going
Hold
on here?
on. I'm going out for a smoke. I skipped my bottom of the hour one because I was on such powerful calls. I'll turn it on when I go outside.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So what did you think of today's callers?
I have chills because I'm actually want to cry almost because I think your knowledge and information is mind blowing. That's so healing for everyone in every level. And I found you obviously through Laura Eisenhower, and I listened to probably the first 5 or 6 shows, and then I got intimidated because you start whipping the crack on people. I was like, I don't want my ass to get cracked. So anyway, I'm willing and able to explore the greater part of myself and release some blockages that I feel like have been keeping me at my fullest potential.
Okay. So let me pry into you. As you started listening and didn't want to have the whip cracked on you.
What
were the common themes that I was cracking the whip on the callers with?
Okay, it was one of those shows where you're like, I'm not freaking giving anything out today, and I don't want to hear about this. And I get it. And you know, I guess people that are just pandering for themselves. And not that I'm not gonna pander, you know, but it's more, I guess. Oh, you're really sharp. You're like, I'm cracking the whip.
Okay. Okay. But all reality, I wasn't cracking the whip. I just wasn't telling them what they wanted to hear.
That's true. And and you have a lovely way of working with people.
Okay. So what are some of the blockages you've been working with recently?
I also see myself as like someone that could like potential of high achieving, but also keep myself at bay. But also, I really have a desire to explore some of your work, and I want to ask about some of your stuff that I could probably explore.
Have you done
But
any of the have you done any of the contract revocations?
I have not. I don't know how to access that. So
Go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, click on the Insights tab, and you will see 8 there for free for everyone.
Excellent.
Sign up for the email list. You will get emails of when all the shows and everything on, and then you'll get the Advanced Heart Meditation and the Sanctuary for All Souls, another 2 more documents.
Oh, wow.
Which is about 35 pages of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I did sign up. I probably missed that email, but I get your emails, so I have to I'll revisit that.
All you got to do is message Michelle that
Michelle?
does all the booking, mpa@galactichistorian.com, mpa@galactichistorian, and just say you want to get access to that, and she'll direct you how you can get that.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know where to start. I'm sorry, I'm being so silly.
Blockages. That's what we're trying to get at. What are your what are your core emotional blockages?
Probably procrastination, but similar to some other people feeling like, I know I'm a bright person, but again, feeling like, how I've had all these jobs where I'm like,
what kind
I
of
don't
jobs?
ever want, personal assisting, nanny, high-end retail,
what education background do you have?
I have a AA
Associate of Arts in what?
in music or
Okay.
dance, mostly dance.
Okay. How old are you now?
I'm 45.
Okay. Why aren't you teaching dance at all?
It's funny. I don't
believe in yourself.
my mind.
You don't believe it. You don't believe in yourself.
I probably don't, but I also don't want to really teach dance. But also, I don't really. But I do know I have some gifts to offer people.
So why don't you want to? Why don't you want to teach dance?
Because I don't know how to explain it. My mind doesn't
try to explain it.
Okay, because I prefer just dancing. I love taking class, and I used to perform a little bit here and there, but I prefer just to.
So let's replace refer with fear. I fear being public.
I fear.
Let's get to the truth. You fear being public. You fear people.
Hell yeah.
You in rhythm.
Okay, you nailed it.
Okay. Now that's up front, are you ready to face? Are you ready to face that fear?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I have a fear.
You're not meant to be doing these trivial jobs that you keep putting yourself in.
I know.
Okay. I could tell you right now, there are 24 young girls between age 4 and 11 that you could start teaching dance lessons to and make a small little fortune on your own, simply because you can relate to children.
That's true. I'm a nanny, so I can.
Okay. You can be the nanny dance class. That's your own brand right there if you wanted to. They come to you for 3 hours, dance the shit out of them, they go home sleepy. Mom will love you. Every mom will love you. They're going to come home and take a deep nap. You're going to work their ass out for 3 hours.
Wow.
Okay.
You're brilliant.
Okay. You're in your zone of children. You're going to identify with them, and your inner child's going to come out and go, wow, why have I avoided this? Because I'm just plain afraid when my stage is kids. Why am I afraid of a 7-year-old?
Yeah. That's true.
Embrace that passion.
Mm-hmm. My other question is for my corny question, but my own spiritual development. Like, I know I have some gifts, and I want to go deep.
But you haven't gone deeper than ankle deep in any of this. You still got your pants rolled all the way down. Okay. You still got your shoes on as you're walking through the puddle.
God. Oh man. So what can we do to shed that? Is it the fear too, or is
Stop being afraid of the public you.
You know, it's funny because I feel like I go out and I do feel like I'm a real person. I feel like most of my friends are not as real as me. I feel like in life I'm real and I'm exposed.
Are you
But
familiar? Are you familiar with the term faux? Faux paint, like a faux painting?
Oh, like fake?
No, that faux doesn't mean fake. It means almost real.
Oh.
You are
Mhm.
at the faux state of yourself.
Oh, I like
The
that.
real you hasn't come through yet.
Okay, so I guess that's you know what it is? It's a burning desire to get there.
Okay. But that burning desire is not really very real, is it?
I guess that's why I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, until you get out public and do your everyday passion, you're in the faux state.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
How do you get out of the faux state? By being the authentic you, without resistance.
Okay.
It starts with dance, but dance isn't your only thing. Dance is just the doorway into 1,000 other subject matters that will help you find the authentic you even deeper and deeper and deeper. And the next thing you know, the pants are stripped off and you're down to your swim trunks and you're swimming in the deep end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
Stop walking around the pool with your shoes on. Okay, let me turn the fire up here on the roasting of you a little bit more.
I like it. I can handle it now.
Okay.
Okay.
When's the last time you've been in a relationship?
Oh yeah, a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
You can go there.
So
I'll have a sip of water.
Why did you give up? Why did you give up on yourself?
Oh my God.
And this is me pushing you in the deep end with all your clothes.
Oh, I like it. You can't see me, so who cares? I don't know if I ever gave up on myself because
yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Okay,
You absolutely gave up on yourself. It's written all over your or I give up on relationships.
You know, it's funny because I thought I was. I can honestly. Okay, this is where it's going. Okay, I did give up, and then I thought I would like to retrieve that because I feel like part of me has just decided that
You're not worthy.
Yeah, that's a sub. Yeah, I'm not worthy, or
You are absolutely worthy.
I know.
And any program that tells you you're not worthy, tell it to fuck off.
You know, it's so funny. I swear I came into this lifetime with a desire, a huge knowing that I could have something really, really great. And to be honest, I'm not one of those kind of girls that just fuck around just for chucks and giggles. You might say you should, but I wasn't ever really wired like that. But maybe I put like a lot of pressure on it. And
do you realize you're defending your position with not knowing what to say?
I don't know what to say. Okay,
because you're just defending where you're at right now.
I don't want to defend myself.
And that's how ingrained it is in you.
I want to move through this.
Okay, then
so I'd love to
admit I gave up on myself.
I gave up on myself.
Not just on relationships, but whatever success I could have had that I knew I came into this lifetime, I gave up on.
You're right.
And I'm a shadow of the many selves that I have been. And I can no longer be the shadow of myself. I must be the light of myself. And every day you got to turn on the light and start with finding the rhythm of your internal authentic self. Dancing is just the key that will help you find the rhythm of life every day. And then there'll be a whole bunch of other subject matters that will show you different rhythms, different actions, different joys, different pleasures. Okay, now you have to learn how to ungive up on yourself. Reclaiming the authority to be authentic you. Are you ready to do that?
Yes.
Okay, that's an awful meager yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was crying. So yes, absolutely.
I know you're crying because we're touching a point in here that you have a lot of emotional blockages. Who broke you? Who broke you?
Who broke me?
Yeah.
Probably a couple of people. I mean, probably my father. Not in a bad, like he didn't do it. It's like abandonment. Like he became an alcoholic when I was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think like 10, 11, and when he didn't, before that he was pretty amazing man and normal, or available, not even like just available. And then after seeing the shift in presence, that I noticed when I did date, I would meet guys that had that pattern where they were available and then they weren't not available.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't mean men, they weren't abusive. It's just like available.
They're just reflections of your father.
Right, pretty much.
So
and then
stop looking for your reflection. Let me tell you something. No one ever wants to date their reflection.
Right.
Because it will only show you what's wrong in yourself. Okay, that teaching of the law of reflection has been bastardized so much by idiot light workers that the true meaning of it is not everyone is your reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
And when you constantly look for your reflection, you're playing the game of shadow and already losing to it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to fix your broken picker energy. Look for something that isn't your reflection.
Well, I think my picker intuitively is a lot better, but I still haven't.
But the inner you is still broken. Therefore, your picker's still broken.
Okay.
Okay? The inner work you have to do is finding the rhythm to be fully the authentic you every day with the joy and passion of doing it. That's your recipe. How you go about doing it is going to be your free will. Ritual, ceremony, contract revocations, all those things help you build up the daily strength to do that. The spiritual daily practice.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledging those emotions that you have. We're journaling and writing about your past. So you can go back and read it and go, I was pretty damn truthful in this statement and not very truthful in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So you can start comparing and contrasting what you're going on in your life. I'm going to highly advise you in the next couple days, you start a dance class and find the 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds, and 12-year-olds that mothers will pay you for 3 freaking hours for you to dance the shit out of them and they go home tired. And you guarantee mom, they're going to come home tired and sleep. Okay? And you're going to get inspired by those children. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Music will mean so much more to you because you're going to want to pre-plan what music am I play for the kids today? And your innocent and inner child will flow once again. And the greatest healing you can do to yourself is dance, bitch, dance. Okay? And then you're going to discover all the open doors you have around you.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
I've been getting these. When I went to the beach, I got these marks, these bites on my leg or my skin or whatever, and it only happened when I went to the beach. I've gone several times during this quarantine,
Mhm.
and they've been leaving like marks.
Mhm.
Is
You've
it
got
something I'm?
sand mites.
But it stays like forever, right? Like it's a long time for it to go away, to fade.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, the beaches have not been stirred up in the past with the same amount of volume and people that have been in there in the past, which
Okay.
kills off the colonies. And when the beaches go undisturbed for long periods of time because of COVID, those colonies get to go through the roof.
Oh shit! Wow.
Right. This is very common. I'm experiencing it a lot in my private calls.
Are you serious?
Yep.
So basically, it's just a matter of time before they fade.
Yes. But it's also saying something's wrong with your immune system. You're not able to break it down fast enough.
Right. So what can we do about that?
Change your diet. Stop being depressed. Depression, it lowers your immunity. Be authentic, real. Let me tell you something. As soon as you start getting back into your authentic, innocent self and having that stuff flow through you, you're going to heal from these bites in days instead of months.
Okay. Okay. So can I ask you something about your webpage?
Sure.
It's all like fascinating. What should, like, from you just speaking with me, where do you think I should start? Is that a loaded question?
I have a 6-week online course called Living the Mystical Life Daily.
Okay.
And that would be perfect for you if you can find the discipline to be doing it and follow through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This goes for everyone that's out there. I wrote that course. No matter how high and expansive or brand new you are at it, it will teach you something new every time you use it.
I mean, I do have discipline when I mean, spiritual discipline, I can have some of that. I mean, I've done some crazy things in the past. It's just lately I've been wanting to do something more discipline and more meditation and something, because my soul is yearning and desiring something greater and more connection. And,
Right. Because
Yeah.
you're stuck on the outside of the pool, never jumping in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Jump into the pool.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question now.
Okay.
Are you financially challenged right now?
A little bit.
Okay. What does that mean, a little bit?
I mean, my ends are meeting very okay for now. I mean, I don't want to get to the point where it's like, oh shit, in 3 months I'm gonna be like in shit hellhole.
Mhm.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I could use a lot more support. I mean, or finances, but under the circumstance too. I mean, people that I've known that I have worked for, like this whole situation, people have, things are starting to pick up a little bit. But
I understand that.
Yeah.
Financial situations depress you very fast. And you've got to learn how to deal with the future finances today,
Mm-hmm.
so that you're not depressed today about what might happen 6 months in the future.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thus, why you've got to start acting in the now. It's going to change the potential future for you.
Okay. Ooh, this is a lot. That's a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm. I didn't turn the roasting fire up that high. I only
okay.
I only turned it up to medium, because right now you need motivation.
I do.
Okay,
I do.
pure motivation, and the only thing that can motivate you right now is you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nothing else will nothing exterior is motivating you anymore. And when a person is stuck in a no exterior motivation anymore, that means you've reached a state of depression where you've lost sight of all the potential futures you could do.
Yep.
You've got to reinvest yourself into the potential futures that are you.
Ooh. I know.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Start with that 6-week online course, Living the Mystical Life Daily. Okay. There's plenty of practices and techniques in there that will help you break the vicious cycle of non-inspiration that you're in.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, question, I know, is some of those ceremonies, is this one of the ceremonies where you have to do pujas? The daily mystical?
The Living the Mystical Life Daily, it's an all-encompassing everything in there. All the teachings are in it.
Okay. So, Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything. It's a step by step, no matter how super advanced or basic you are. It's designed for everyone. And the teachings that are inside there are meant to be done in your own voice. That's why we give you printouts of all of them. There's well over 130 pages of printouts. Okay.
Yep. Anything else, my friend? Anything else?
Dance, bitch, dance. And I use the B word for a
I
reason.
love it.
Okay?
I love it.
Dance.
I love it. And
Put together a mini business plan of you can start $30 a kid, $25 a kid. That's a little extra cash in your pocket, $25 an hour for dance lessons, or give them a monthly budget. So it's half mini nanny dance class. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
There's
And
there's all sorts of life lessons you can instill into the children too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
True. Yep. One more question, since the buzzer didn't go off. So for me, manifesting the love.
You got to get out of it. You got to get out of the depression first. You got to stop being the faux you first.
Okay. I like that. Okay. I'll take that.
Okay.
I appreciate
and
your time.
The journey of ungiving up starts to loving yourself, to realize I have to ungive up and invest into myself.
So is this a reason why I've done other healing works and other stuff, and I kind of, maybe because I'm such a I don't know anyone, like, obviously smarter than me, because I'm pretty, I know myself pretty well, and obviously you're able to dig a little deeper, and most people don't know how to dig that deep. Is there a reason partially why it's like modalities don't work on me? Or
because you don't have a shovel.
I don't have a shovel.
Right.
What does that
You
mean?
don't have the tools, the metaphorical tools.
Okay, got it.
Okay. You don't have the motivation. You don't have the inspiration. You don't have the desire and the drive.
Okay.
And the strategy of application.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense.
Because you're in such a depressed state.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think the world of you. I can't thank you enough for letting me get on the phone with you on the Zoom.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for calling in. All right, Robert. Let's see. We've got a couple minutes left. Why don't we do one more caller?
Okie dokie. Let's see. Chrissy. Is Chrissy in the room still? No, I had her. Ready to go. Okay, randomly here. Anna Louisa.
Anna Louisa, are you there? Anna Louisa, come to your phone. Going once. Going twice.
Yes, I'm here.
You made it. How you doing?
Yay.
Where
I can't believe it.
Yes. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Welcome to the show. What did you think of the callers today so far?
Wow. Oh, it's mind blowing. Everybody, my God. Wow.
We got some special callers today.
Yes. I can relate to each person in it. I'm almost weak because it's so incredible. And the other, when you said what made you give up on yourself, that I can relate. I totally can relate. In 2018, I started a kind of spiritual path. My grandma taught me to pray, and all of a sudden I was in that journey. But I had a terrible relationship with my family, my mom and daddy, terrible. And my mom, he occasionally appeared and then he disappeared. And all of a sudden, he died. I'm 61 years old now, and it was I was as a virtual I could have, and well, long story short, all of a sudden I started having fear of crossing streets, something that I always had a tiny little bit, and now I'm home, and I'm agoraphobic, and I'm having financial problems, and I'm kind of stuck. I've been doing revocation. I did the divine feminine and the troll energy for 3 months, recorded every one day the divine feminine. It's very powerful. Now I said no. I guess it's I guess I got it. And now I'm here. I did therapy for 20 years, and I'm doing therapy again. But mm, I don't. It worked perfectly. Died
Mhm.
2014, and now I'm starting with a new one. But I it's happening that much.
So you find yourself in the tough place, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So the spiritual practice can only carry you so far until you're ready to delve deeper into it. Now, you've only done the 2 revocations. There's 9 that are available out there for free. You got to start picking up the variety of other things because each one has their own set of teachings in it. You got to open yourself up to new forms of spiritual practices and techniques so you can begin to apply them. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself fading back because after a while, when you do the same 2 over and over and over and over again, you don't get the benefits of the repetition with the illumination with all the other subject matters that are meant to make greater pattern recognition.
Yeah, I did it. I repeated because it was so everything was so new for me. The terms, for instance, equity. Yeah, I had this by my own, and I didn't know it even exists in my own language. So it was a kind of every time I read, it was a kind of a new discover. And I was listening. I said, "Oh my God, that means," and I searched for some term I didn't know, and it was important to make this research because it's a new kingdom for me. Your information is very it's incredible. It's so unique, and you approach things the way you do.
Mhm.
I'm in not even baby steps.
They're still at the crawling stage, but
Yeah, yeah.
you have to accept, even though you may perceive you're not understanding it, you are at a different level.
Hmm.
And this is where you have to get up off the crawling and start walking baby steps and then walking adult steps. You can
Hmm.
perceive and process the stuff. It's just language. Okay.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
if some of the words don't make sense to you, you got a dictionary, you got a thesaurus, try translating some of them back to your original language. You can also go to the Facebook page Friends Who Like Andrew Bartzis and see if anybody has any translated into your
I'm not
native
there.
language. Okay.
No, no, no. Oh, you don't have no. We have no idea. I can talk to anybody about any subject I connect here because it's a complete different environment, and no, it's impossible. But
No,
I
it's not.
try to.
It's not impossible. Don't
Mm,
defend yourself with saying it's impossible. It's not. It's not impossible.
mm,
Nothing's
well,
impossible right now.
I try to translate, but there are some things that are some specific. I said, oh, some words. It's impossible for me to translate for the moment.
Because you're not allowing yourself to perceive the teaching for what it is. You're still having an issue with the teaching versus the wording. And there's some internal blockage in you that's not allowing the teaching to create the wording.
Hmm.
Okay, which means you have to invest more time into the practice and then expand with some of the other ones. Do the divine masculine, divine feminine, government, banking, media, union and communion, collective consciousness strike. Okay, get the advanced heart meditation and the other one, the sanctuary for all souls, that come when you just sign up for the newsletter. All of those will expand the languages many more fold. There's a reason I give you like 60 pages of practice material, because you're going to get better pattern recognition out of it. The shaman's death is another powerful one that helps expand the language even further and further and further. It's understanding the nature of multidimensional living and accepting it as part of your daily practice. You are not a being of duality. You are a being of singularity, but you're perceiving everything through the duality right now.
I did the shaman death once, and I remember when I did the heart one, when when you said mother's womb, when I felt like crying, because my mom used to say to me that 3 months before she was pregnant, she did an abortion, and she left. And then it's as if she was saying to me that she would have aborted me, and I do the heart meditation.
But you lived. You were born, right?
Yeah.
So that didn't actually happen. Whether somebody thought about having the abortion and actually doing are two different things. You lived. Therefore, you have the opportunity to be that fetus in the womb. It's not about connecting to the mother when you're in the womb. It's connecting to the fetus and that infinite source and becoming familiar with that energy too.
I realized that. Then I said, no. I do some visualizations by my own, and sometimes I remember the heart, and I said I have to go back there.
And you got to fortify. You got to fortify your energies. That's why I created that meditation like that.
Do you see anything? This fear of cross street, it's so paralyzing. It's not a fear and cross the street. I have to have for help, and occasionally, I can get out of the step out of the curb, even if the street has not a single car. It's something very strange, and
so this psychosis has advanced to a point where it owns your life. There is no simple way other than to face it head on. And when the body reaction of fear, anxiety, and revilement come up, that you face it head on and go, I do not have to be fear of crossing the road. People do it every day. I do not have to be afraid of going out, and owning the authentic sovereign moment to be you as a part of this living, breathing being who's a part of this world. Unless you want to do medications and all that other stuff, which I don't think that's going to be good for you, you have to face the fear and realize fear is false evidence appearing real, FEAR. There's nothing real about that fear. And you've got to talk it out loud and go, no, I'm not afraid. I can step out the front door. I can step onto the curb. I can cross the road. I will not be hit by a car. I can look left and I can look right and I can wait for an open to cross the street. Name it to claim it. Take your power back from the fear.
Okay.
You and only you can do this. There is no spiritual guide or guardian, and no guru's going to come down and do it for you. It's your challenge this lifetime to get over that fear.
You mentioned medication. When I was 29, I was medicated with clonazepam, and clonopin, and it's highly addictive, as you know. And I had a withdrawal symptom to a psychiatrist so that he could help me to withdraw with this. The thing is that I end up in the psychiatric kingdom, and I took all the drugs, and I end up addicted to another clonazepam and another drug. Get it out. I have been through the withdrawal process of an infection, almost kill myself with suicide ideation because of the the withdrawal. Yeah, it's incredible. It's totally real, incredible. And so I still have to take this thing. Jordan Peterson is having a terrible. I don't know.
The withdrawals from all of those anti-psych meds are horrible for everyone. They're worse than the heroin withdrawals.
Yeah. I started a blog and connected, and I learned a lot. But
diet and exercise can help cut down 30 to 40% of the withdrawal symptoms. Okay. What's your diet like right now?
Yeah, I'm paying attention. I don't eat meat, not because I'm vegan or no, because my mom, she didn't used to have many meat, and I don't know how to prepare meat. Seriously, I don't know. So
well, there's YouTube out there. All right, you can learn really fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but I look at that and say, oh my, I have occasionally I have meat, but it's not my. But I'm paying attention to things, and I'm eating eggs, and I'm paying attention. I don't like the vegan. All these things for me. Yeah, we started with microbiotics when I was in my 19, I don't remember. And then I saw many of my friends. Wow, that's terrible.
So you need to start counting your protein. If you're less than 40 grams a day, you've got to start increasing your food level, because it will increase the amount of dopamine you have available to yourself to actually have natural dopamine releases instead of getting it from the medication.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me tell you something, just facing some of the fears about getting out of the house and crossing the road will go you a long way at healing yourself, which will then give you the opportunity to lower the dosages on your meds along with your doctors so you can go through a prescribed way of detoxing.
Oh, I lost you. Oh, what's happening here?
I'm still here. We can still hear you.
Okay.
So you can diet and exercise. Very important. You facing the fears. It'll go take you a really long ways if you're able to cross the road without fear. And then you can start lowering the amount of medications you're on with the doctor assisting you going through the withdrawals.
Okay.
Darling, thanks a lot for calling in. We're near the end of the show.
Thank you, Andrew.
You've been a wonderful caller for a lot of people.
Okay, thank you. You are
welcome.
amazing.
All right, take it easy, darling. And Nate in the chat room, thanks. We need to pin 40 grams of protein to the top of it every day. Let me tell you something. Even if we pin 40 grams of protein every day on there, 90% of you would miss it. Robert, is Monty around?
I think I saw him.
Hello. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Just woke up again, and I've got stuff to watch. I watched Crowder go live at 2 a.m. my time. It's like, oh, that's interesting stuff. So yeah, it's if you get into the conspiracy narrative, it's going off like a frog in a sock. But
Yes.
spiritually, it's like this time energy loop sucks.
Mhm. What did you think of today's callers?
Really cool. And what I find fascinating is if you don't actually get on to talk to you, there's a reason why everyone's here listening. And it could be if you're watching this 3 days from now, there's soul contracts or something, but you get what you get from it, if that makes it's very simple language. Yeah, it's awesome, but it's the learning and experience of like, oh wait, it's in a way that's why you have mythology and stories. Is like, I don't have to go through World War One. Well, I did, but you know what, you can watch that, and like by watching the story you can connect with it, and it's you know what I mean. Yeah, by like at this point in time, I can't remember past lives where I've actually given birth, but I still connect with people that are dealing with their children and everything else like that. And it's like, oh, it's not to get a bit flowery. It's like, I see myself in you. It's not that level, but it's well, I'm glad I didn't agree to that. I'm here for you, but I'm not agreeing to that.
So how have you been the last week or so, Monty?
I'm going to use a buzzword. It feels like the new normal for me, not the new normal, but
you're in that state where you're waiting for season 4 to start.
Yeah. It's like season 2 was such a disappointment.
Yeah.
And coming up next is the final episode of season 2. Who will be the president? And you get to the end of like, oh, come on.
Right. Total letdown. Exactly. Exactly. It's all about harvesting energy from you, because if it wasn't about harvesting energy, they'd have killed us off long ago.
Yeah. I'm using that paradigm of the Earth is an energy farm, and it's interesting when people react and it's like, I'm not part of that. Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are. You're a free range. You're a free range prisoner,
and you agreed to be here.
Bitch.
Give about 6 months of figuring out what that actually means, and then come back to me, because like I had like when talking about spirituality, there's no such thing as death. See you in 3 months, because the
exactly. See you in 3 months.
So you actually get to know all of that and realize, wait a minute. That doesn't mean you start jumping in front of buses. Like I live forever. Like,
well, unless you have a 60 bus pass, that's how you use your 60 bus pass.
Well, yeah, that is true, allegedly, or not. You'll have to wait till you get to 5D when you hand your bus pass.
How will you know you're in 5D?
I'll be there handing out 6D bus passes, going, yeah, the creator loves this.
So yourself will be handing a bus pass to yourself.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, no. It was like, where the hell have you been? My shift was over an eon ago.
Exactly. You're late again, asshole.
Yeah. And what's that uniform? Dear God, man. So I'll be handing out 6D bus passes to everyone else in 5D, going, no, it's fine. And it's just so fun watching people sit for an eon, going, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. What the fuck is this shit? Welcome to Earth, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, I'll be Monty, your conductor for this evening. Good luck. Oh, yes, Scoff Jobs. You're more popular than me. You know that, don't you?
Yes, she's gonna get tens of millions of views.
Yeah. That poor cat has to live with that strange man.
It's funny. Martina's cat. I forgot the name of her cat. Has got 29,000 likes on the 12-second video she did. It's a TikTok cat.
I actually did. It was my friend Melissa, who we've had
Milo. Milo's a cat's name. Yeah.
Had my friend Melissa on. Yes, Scoffy, I know. Eons ago, so this year, she sort of mentioned, because I put a photo of Scoff Chops up, and it got more reactions and likes and everything else than say, "Oh, will you be quiet?" Yeah. Got more reactions than putting out information. It was like, you are a free human being, blah blah blah. And it's like 3, 4 scoff chops, 35,000. I'm like, yeah, okay.
What did
We
I
know-
tell you 8 months ago, man?
Yeah. But,
Your cat will make you famous.
yeah, my cat drives me mad. Sits in the backyard going, hello, hello. It's like, the door's open. Walk in, say hello. You don't need to tell the whole neighborhood that you that I'm wanted.
The
Or
legend,
maybe
the
she does.
legend of Scoff Chops grows.
Exactly. Like, for all the cats that can hear me, I'm yelling at my slave.
Yes, Alan is telling you, grow some whiskers, Monty.
No, I did try and grow a beard, but I don't have. I have a bald patch on my chin, so I have to walk around like the thinker, like to hide it. And if I do that, it just looks really weird. So, like, I can have twinsies, but no. I do have a question in the theme of the show.
Ooh.
Can you do a quick update? There's a condition to the question, though. Can you do a quick update on myself? But only like, I don't need personal stuff where everyone's like, "Oh, that's fascinating." What's a bit of information that will be beneficial or exciting for all the listeners and callers?
Let me process that a second.
Yeah, because for those playing at home, I'm trying not to be selfish, but I am at the same time by sharing it. So you see, you know, balance, my friends.
You already know you got to be public more in your physical life, and that the hermetism badge of honor you've been wearing has to be retired.
Yeah.
Okay. And retiring that badge of I'm a hermit it's been its own challenge for you. Obviously, lockdown made you had no choice. You went even deeper into hermesy than you've ever had before.
Well, that's the weird thing. It's like just before, like in March, before lockdown, like, you know what? I think I'll start dating again. Lockdown. I hate you, universe. Sometimes I really, really.
I think that's the most important part for your journey this going forward, because you can't self-inspire yourself at home anymore. Not that your home's not a good home. It's just you've used up the hermit. You've got to go to the hermit version of AA and do the 12 steps, the 12 hermit steps. And maybe just creating that as the comedy journey of the 12 steps to no longer being a hermit will help you go out and stop being a hermit. Lockdown is over where you're at, right?
At the moment, yes.
Okay.
But can you? I'm just amused by Hermit AA. Do you know how hard it is to get that meeting started? There's no one here.
But you still got to stand up in the stand, even if no one's there.
Yeah, it's just they let one person in at a time. Hello, my name's Monty. I'm a hermit. Yeah, we know. Get off.
We could ask the audience right now, who of everyone would come to Monty's hermit recovery class? Okay, let's ask. Yes, a whole bunch of people saying. So Monty, I want you to take stage and say, "Hi, I'm Monty and I'm a hermit."
Hello, I'm Monty Dean, President-elect Monty Dean. I'm a hermit, and I'm doing the 3-step program for hermits. One is to acknowledge you're a hermit. Second one is to leave the house. I can't remember the third one.
What's the third step?
The third step is
meet somebody.
Oh yeah. Talk to
talk to another human being in your meeting.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are a multi-dimensional being. So if you're a hermit, you're denying the third dimension. You sort of actually have to go out in the physical world and go, hello.
Okay. You've got to stop paying dues to the antisocial club.
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's your 4th step. No longer giving energy to being antisocial.
It's quite funny where it's like working through all this. It's like, okay, I have to remember how to be social and talk to people and sort of not just observe as well. The whole free will thing of people arguing about the election. And I do enjoy our chats where it's like, no, hang on, no, you're on stage. You have to be in the back of the theater in the private booth going, this story sucks. Like, you know, it's just that big one. Instead of like, oh, but Sophocles is going to stab the next guy.
So that's the journey ahead of you. But you've watched enough TV shows that you're bored. Can you admit that?
Yeah,
Shows
yeah,
don't do nothing for you anymore.
yeah. It's
Therefore, the improv of life is the next show.
yeah,
Okay? And
yeah.
you got to
Everyone's
improv it right now. Okay?
Yeah. And everyone's wearing a mask, so you don't get. Yeah, you know. I like how they say the eye is the window to the soul. Yeah, if you get this frigging close, like across a room, you can't really, especially if you've got bad eyesight like mine.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's really your extension journey is just literally getting out of the house and getting out of the repetition journey you've put yourself into. It's just isn't giving you the feel you want anymore.
Yes, you may have noticed I like to perform, and my
I never noticed it once.
You just drew it out of me, Andrew. This is the brilliance of you being a counselor. I like to perform. And as you know from Scoff Chops, she's a very harsh critic. How about this?
I'm gonna go back to licking my butt.
Yeah, stupid human.
Social commentary.
Yeah. Well. So yeah, I hopefully people can sort of get that, especially now. It's interesting where if we can go a bit conspiracy, they tried out the lockdown part 2 here in Melbourne, and it seemed to work. And so now all the other governments, even if it's not a conspiracy thing, the idiots in charge, because I do like how David Icke says the world is ruled by psychopaths, but it's run by idiots. And so with
true.
Yeah, the whole thing about COVID and like, we've got massive numbers. How many people died? Shut up. They saw the success of Melbourne through their lens. And it's like, well, we'll do that too. And of course, the interesting thing about the United States, you've got this weird idea about freedom. Like you actually have most of it. Not 100% freedom, but you know,
it's an illusion.
Yeah, it's a thinner illusion compared to everywhere else, like Australia. We're free down here, but we don't actually have like the First Amendment, free speech. We have like 26 laws about defamation, but free speech is implied.
Yes.
Compared to where in the United States, it's like, you know, free speech, and that's fun.
Because you didn't rebel from your queen.
No. Like with your country, you had a revolution and became a country. Independence, like, yeah, Dad, fuck off. We're old enough now. Australia
was more about Chapter 11 bankruptcy and getting rid of it.
Basically, yeah. For those who aren't aware, Australia became a country because someone signed a piece of paper in a park.
Right, because it was too expensive for them to run.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Therefore, you became your own debtor society. Thus, why you have a constitution or a parliament the way that it is. The same thing with Canada. The same thing unfortunately, with India too.
It's interesting where there's that separation of like, we're free, independent. Well, how come the Queen's our sovereign? Why don't we get an Australian? Oh, no. Tradition. It's like, well, how free are we if she's still the head of state? Oh, it's just ceremonial. Then let's get Hugh Jackman in. He lives here. He's awesome. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Free range prisoners. Until we discard the prisoner ideology and say we are a multidimensional spirit who does not have to live the duality or the singularity simultaneously, we are all of them at once when we choose to.
And that's kind of the way out as well, by changing. It's not, violent revolution kind of works, but then gets a bit dark. By doing the inside work and tapping into the awesomeness of creation, you change your frequency and expand your consciousness. And eventually you taint the loosh, or there's no loosh coming out of you. And so that's kind of the way of You know, I've stopped asking, how do we get out of this? Because he keeps repeating the same thing. It's like, all right, I get it. But it is that is basically the way of moving forward is you change your inside and then it flows out, and you can still live in the system because, you know, hide in the cracks type thing.
Right.
And of course, remember the owners of the planet, they still want to harvest all the negative energy. And so there won't be a World War III, but they'll try and create, there'll be that tension for World War III. For how long's it been now? 70 years. If we use the Cuba missile crisis, we've been on the edge, and it's like, no wonder people have adrenal
burnout.
Yeah, burnout. Yeah, because we're constantly and that's the letdown with the election. Oh, Trump's going to win or Biden's going to win, and you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning, Trump's gone, oh, they're trying to steal elections, so we're going to courts. And it's like, come back next week.
Yep, we're going to give you a big letdown again.
Yep, day 16 of the election. Yay! Oh, and very quickly, happy International Men's Day. It was here, yeah, because it's 20th, but not November the 19th is International Men's Day, and of course the media won't point that out. But come March 8th, they'll be pushing the whole Women's International Day.
Wonderful. All right, Monty, we're at the end of the show. Why don't you give a way for people to get a hold of you?
I'm on YouTube as Wafer Thin Entertainment. Facebook, it's Monty Dean. On Instagram, it's Monty.Dean. On Twitter, at Real Monty Dean. And I've started a parlor as one as well, which I think is just Monty Dean. So just look up Monty Dean. And yeah, if you're in YouTube, subscribe. Even if you don't watch any of my videos, that's okay. But just subscribe. I need to get over 1,000 subs so I can start monetizing and having the battle with YouTube, because I said a wrong word.
Yes. Everybody, you know who I am. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com. For those of you that are interested, you can go to my store and look at all the different digital products I have there. Living the Mystical Life Daily is there for those who are ready to make the next jump into it. We will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for our comedy show. All right, Robert, take us away.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge, it's the Holy Grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.